Chapter 25. Finally waiting for Jamie to call me, and I couldn't call her. I was going nuts to know what was going on. Finally, after 2 days passed, Jamie called me. I said, "What happened?" She said she needs an attorney. I questioned why she hadn't called me sooner. She said the judge wouldn't release her, and she has to stay a week under the faculty. Can she see visitors? She said only certain hours of day. Let me go there and discuss to them that they need to let you out. I called my attorney and he made a call to get more information on why she was kept in there for a week. He told me that she was under suicide watch and they kept her end there for a week. I explained if there is a way I can demand for them to release her. He told me it is a slight chance if you can prove she is under your care and she has a home to go home to. I said, I can prove all of that. So I went there and saw her. She was wearing a shower curtain, literally, around her body. I said, where are your clothes?
They hold them from the people in here. She said, please, I want to get out of here.
I then went to the head nurse in the faculty and asked,
why is my girlfriend wearing a shower curtain around her to cover her up? Where are her clothes?
They said they wear hospital clothes so they can't commit suicide. She's not going to do that. I'm her boyfriend, so release her under my care. We need a court order, sir. I said, she is living in here like she is caged up, and I will get her out of here. I'll take full responsibility for her well-being. Just release her for the love of God. Nurse said, we can't. We need a court order. Finally, I told Jamie that I will get you out here. I'll need to hire my attorney to force the issue.
Can I leave now?
She said, babe, they won't release you unless that damn judge sends his blessings. You'll be out of here tomorrow. Call me when you can so I can work on it. Next morning, I called my attorney and told him the news. I said, I'm going to hire you so we can get her out. Then he explained to me it's usually a waiting process and doesn't matter who she is, it's a matter of precaution and protocol for her protection. I said, it's a freaking joke. He said he will start to get to work on it. Later on, Angela called and inquired about the chain of events, and I informed her what was going on. Then I get a phone call from my attorney, and he told me she was released. I said, what? How? They weren't going to release her unless she had a place to go to. Then he told me she released her to a Gary redacted. I said, what the fuck? I said, well, thanks. I'll call her. I called Angela back up and told her that she was released to Gary. Both of us were flabbergasted. Finally got a hold of Jamie and said, what in the hell happened? She said Gary got her out. I said, but how in the hell was he able to get you out? And I couldn't. Then she said the judge released her. Then she called Gary. He came to get her. What the fuck? You knew I was trying to get you out, right? Why didn't you let me get you? Since you're living with me, I worry to death. Babe, I want to see you. She said, let me talk with you tomorrow. I was brewing and knew that she needed help. but she was depending on that old fucker. It just hit me like a ton of bricks, knowing we came so far for a solid 3 weeks. Finally, I picked her up and she rode in my taxi the whole Saturday night. I said, "What the fuck is going on? Why didn't you call me?"
She said, "Drop it. It's water under the bridge."
"Jamie, it's not. You need to get help, babe. You had a relapse and a heavy amount of heroin in your bloodstream."
I love you. God damn it. And I want you here for a while.
Do you understand me?
Damn it.
You're being overdramatic, and it doesn't help when you rub it in my face.
I'm not. I don't want to lose you to this. I don't want you to be a statistic. You have too much to live for. Please, babe. I'll even drive you to the program in Kentucky to get you better. If it meant we could have a future. Please, damn it.
Stop being so overly dramatic. I'm fine.
Babe, you aren't when you are doing that stuff and chasing it down with Irish rose wine. I only talk this way just to give you a wake-up call. We only go down this merry-go-round once. Then she turned on the radio and started belting out If I Could Turn Back Time Share. She was singing the Cher song and going to town. I teared up and said, "I'm going to hold you to that." Lol. Finally, I put on some Rod Stewart and she said,
Turn that crap off.
I said, "You don't like Rod Stewart." She said, "No, I don't." Finally, we went to get groceries and went back home for the night. I told her I was going to give her a bath and hopefully the damn county turned back on the hot water. She got in the tub. We turned the knob back on and the hot water poured out. I grabbed her feet and started washing her feet. So then she wanted to finish her bath by herself. Then, when she was finished, it was to bed we go. I held her in my arms and we hopped in bed. I rubbed her feet and started to massage her feet. Finally, Jamie rode Space Mountain again for the second time, and good times were to be had by all. Following morning, Angela called and I told her all was well, at least for now. Didn't want to jinx it. Morning came and Jamie wanted to babysit for her girlfriend that evening. Come to find out, it Orlando's sister. So I drove her there. Meanwhile, Josh fell behind again on the rent, and I said, "You need to get caught up, or you can leave." Josh said he planned to be moving out soon, that he would get caught up. Mortgage company sent me another notice of a possible foreclosure, so I had to find more time. I called the call center in India, and they said it was a letter showing me how behind I was, and to disregard it. I inquired, why would I be getting it in the mail saying it's possible foreclosure? The mortgage company then set an auction date, sale on my home, so I had to come up with a loophole. I went to an attorney, Henry McLaughlin. He gave me a letter, and I went down to the auction sale, and my house was the first house on the list. I said, "If you buy the house, you'll be opening yourself up to a lawsuit. There's legal procedure that the mortgage company needs to come up with." So right then and there, they removed my house from the list. So I bought more time, but was really stressed out from any possible outcome or possible another attempt from the mortgage company trying to pull another fast one. I finally decided to do a bankruptcy. I was told I could do Chapter 7 or Chapter 13, and at least stall it for some more time on top of stopping the auction. So I was on the verge of getting this done on top of stopping the auction with a letter from the attorney. Not wanting to do a Chapter 13, I wanted to clean up my unsecured debt, and I was entitled to. Giving misinformation, I was told Chapter 7 would keep me in my house since it was a secured debt. I gave that information and ran with it, and did Chapter 7. Jumping through the loops and hurdles, it cleaned up my debt and was granted after going through the process. Though giving wrong information by the attorneys that I spoke with, it bought me time, and even though it was secured debt, it was wiped away clean, which later on cost me. My loopholes I had at my disposal became stall tactics that I had only at my disposal. Things on that front were getting murky, but more time was bought on keeping the house. On a different front, the trolls were getting out of hand. Piss 4400, Jeremy Redacted, who projected himself as a fan, became the tractor to impress the trolls. He started going how he and I were similar, dealing with interaction of other human interaction. How he was doing a study about me. This started stemming from his character. A shut end that lived with his mother and couldn't read or write, and how gravitated to a female troll at the time Danielle. All that drama was brewing right at the spring of 2016. I had to flag down his videos along with the trolls' videos. The trolls gravitated to this retard to make him believe he was doing good in attacking me, and how they would befriend him if he kept up that attacks on me. First with being a fan, and then being a troll to attack me to win the approval of these other bottom feeders in the group. This guy was a riot to listen to, though when he went on for hours about how the education system wasn't kind to him. Killed brain cells, but even though he was a detractor of mine, eventually the trolls turned on him when he came out and attacked them for doing a fake obituary on me saying that I died. They ended up doing 2 of those, which forced me to come out on the defense and attack them back harder. Just non-stop drama, but was curtailed by him at times going off on the trolls for them rejecting him in their group. It sometimes felt refreshing to get the spotlight off of me and have them fight amongst themselves and with this character.